What's up, everybody? So this is my next Well Match IG Live with Dr. Jamie King. I'm so excited to speak with her. This should be a good one. And yeah, I think the brand I wanted to highlight today was this Black Like I Never Left coaster. Um, they make amazing products. They're very sturdy. Um, I love how creative they get with their designs. Again, it's the Black Like I Never Left. We love giving these items as gifts to our friends, um, and they do so many different categories. What's up, Jamie? I see you in here. Okay, so what you have to do is hit that little camcorder with the plus button. There we go. Nice to see you, my brother. Hey, hey, what's up, y'all?
All right.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
what's
Okay, I
up, Alex?
like the glasses.
Thank you, thank you. I did not feel like doing my contacts today, so here I am.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can't
That's
complain.
good.
Can't complain. It's been a little rainy today, but it's clearing up. You brought the sunshine.
Yeah, it's storm here in Atlanta too, but we've had an exciting day in Atlanta. We had a meteor, maybe something.
What?
Yeah, something saw the sky, but I think it's okay. But yeah, and then a thunderstorm, but seems to be all on the up and up now.
Don't play with me because Meteor Man was one of my favorite movies
Right?
growing up. So
Okay.
I'll be out there trying to.
Just don't turn into a golden lord, Alex.
Right.
I don't know if they have enough hair dye for that.
Right, right. So okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Freaking okay, a fireball falling from the sky is crazy. I had no idea. It's so much going on in the world, man,
It
that you miss
is.
things like that.
You might pick up your phone for a second and then it's gone. And you're like, was that real? I don't know. Right.
Exactly. What we're being trolled on versus what's actually true. Ooh. So, you've been in these lives numerous times before, so you know how this goes. What I like to do is, start off with an intro
Sure.
that I'm going to get into of you, and I'm so happy to read it, and because there's a lot of people who fill out the questionnaire, Jamie, and like the first time they reach out to you, it's like, all right, so where's my match? Who you got for me? It's like this kind of microwave kind of thought process, like, dang, I've been trying to find this person your whole life, and then it's like you do this process and it's like, okay, but where's my person now? It's like, no, that's not how it works. Like, we're gonna find them, but it may take some time. So
Let's
when you
dig a
reached out,
little deeper
let's
here.
dig a little deeper. Can we just do that?
Step one.
Exactly. So when you reached out, I saw, okay, someone who I hadn't known before. I kind of started this, and I was just like, okay, how's this gonna go? And you just said, hey, just wanted to let you know, really appreciate the questionnaire. Like, I spent like an hour just going through it, and let me know if you need any help. And it was just so kind. And I was just like, that was the first time where someone reached back out after the questionnaire. And people have done it since then, but like, that was the first time where someone was really just like, yo, man, that was cool. No rush, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make sure we figure out someone that's aligned with me. But yeah, like if anything was needed in the interim, you're happy to help. And we set up calls, we've been talking. So I have some of that in your intro. I cannot wait to read it.
I can't wait to hear it because I was
Yeah.
like, this we don't know what's in the intro, but yeah,
Right.
we'll see.
Absolutely. And then after the intro, um, I think everybody knows the house rules. I mean, I'll just actually summarize it right here.
Okay.
Like, we are not trying to be, the hot takes um platform. We're not trying to get people to go viral for the wrong reasons. Like, that's not even like a goal. I think we just want to have like a healthy and honest conversation to move the culture forward and to allow people to be fully seen and heard, and to get their personalities across so that others who might be interested in them can see if there's potential there between that person and the person that's on the live. So if that's something you want to do, feel free to reach out. We can definitely try to put you on schedule. Next week we have two amazing women who are based in Houston. So JJ and Carly, looking forward to y'all next week. But like I said, so excited to be talking to Jamie today.
They
So
can't see with the church finger. Put me on the program. Put me on the
right.
program. That's what I
Right.
did. Put me on the program.
Exactly. All right, Jamie. So we're going to get into your intro, and then we're going to jump into the 9 categories.
All right, sounds good.
All right. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another Well Matched One-on-One. I want you to meet Jamie King. Actually, it's Dr. Jamie King. Thank you. Ever since Jamie filled out the Well Matched questionnaire, she's been one of my most invested, thoughtful, and encouraging people that I've had the chance to connect with. And I mean that. Since day one, Jamie's been a real one. She sends me market research, forwards me articles, gives me content ideas, recruits new people, even pitched this gem of an exercise that I should bring up in my one-on-one. She said, I recommend that, you tell your clients to take themselves out on a couple of dates so that they can track what lights them up, see what it costs, so that they can stop expecting someone else to deliver the clarity they haven't created for themselves. Because that was something that she did, right? And that was so helpful. And, I learned that she has this background, this amazing background in scientific consulting and data visualization. And so she's offered to help me reimagine how I show insights from the answers. Um, and she sent me markups of those. Like, she gave it structure. And honestly, and this, she knows this, I'm going to hire you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, I'm going to
Hey,
hire you. That's my
I'm
goal.
ready. Listen.
Yeah. But let me be clear. What makes Jamie unforgettable isn't her resume, it's her presence. She's a safe space. Like, I saw that, you will see that, she knows that. Um, she's emotionally steady. She's spiritually open, and she's deeply empathetic. She leads with sincerity, not ego. She listens to understand, not to respond. And she wants to be able to hold space without making it about her. And trust me, in today's dating world and what I see in the questionnaires and answers, that's rare. Jamie's rare. So for the emotionally mature man watching, the one who wants peace more than performance, or truth more than polish, or partnership more than pretense, you might be looking at your match. Jamie, welcome to the Well Match Live. How you feeling?
Oh,
Oh
oh,
no, is
click
there is there a
purple.
lag?
Oh no. Can you hear me? Oh
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I
Yeah.
lag, or was that is that how's the audio or video coming up? Maybe somebody in the chat let us know if there's any lag.
Yeah. All right. Let me
How'd I
see.
do? We gonna figure it out. Don't worry
Yeah,
about that,
we
Jamie.
gonna figure it
How
out.
how did you hear the intro? How'd I do?
I
Uh,
did. I did. It was amazing. Yeah. I'm a bit speechless at the intro. Like, that was so kind, and it's been just really rewarding to help you along this way. I think you're doing such purposeful work in our community, and I think you're reaching a lot of people that need to hear your message. And for me personally, it's restored a bit of hope in this space for me. So
uh,
thank you for that, and cultivating this space, and for this opportunity to chat on the one-on-one tonight on live. But
oh yeah.
yeah,
How you
such
feeling?
special work you're doing.
Like this, you know, I know I was nervous the first time I did it. Like, how you feeling? Like, are you excited? Is there a little bit of nerves? Like, what? Walk me through it.
I'm excited, but I will say I'm a little nervous because this is not a venue I would share a
Yeah,
lot of this feedback on typically. So yeah, I'll admit I'm a little nervous, but like I said, this is a safe, embracing community that you're
absolutely.
building. So yeah,
It's just we here.
we're
And
here.
she's gonna stay locked in. Um, all right, so with that, why don't we jump in it?
Sounds good.
All right. So starting off with the first item across the nine categories is emotional intelligence, right? So Jamie, we talked about how, one of the biggest fears in love was being with someone you felt like you couldn't really depend on
Hmm.
and like, emotionally or otherwise. And how, you lead with kindness, but there's still like a way that you can kind of guard your heart when you sense a little instability. And like you've done the self-reflection, you go to therapy, like you've done the work, but like you admitted that vulnerability still isn't like always that easy. So um and then it's the avoidant attachment that we'll talk about, where you protect yourself in a unique way, which we can share. And but you're committed to growing out of that. That's something we talked
Yeah.
about too. So yeah, I guess like the question I wanted to ask is like, what specific signals tell you it's safe for you to open up? Like, is it the tone? Is it consistency? Is it like certain phrases? Is it a vibe? Like, I wanted to hear more about that.
Yeah, I think for me, because I do have a data driven mind, the consistency weighs heavy for me. So, like, if there's a certain amount of time that passes and I see this consistent behavior and a pattern, that's kind of my signal, like, okay, this is something I can probably let my guard down a little bit. So, yeah, as soon as you said
Mm,
consistency, I said that's like the main signal that fires off for me to open up a little bit more.
I love that. Okay, so like, let's say you have that consistency, but then someone like messes up or like, doesn't really be as consistent as he was beforehand. Like, is that trust kind of, shaken quickly, or do you kind of like, does someone, I call it bail. Like, I would love to have some bail, bail me out of the situation if like it wasn't necessarily something that's gonna, continue to be a trend. It's just like maybe it was a moment. So like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think at that point I'm like, let's address it. Like, let's see,
yeah.
like, was this kind of a one-off thing, or is it going kind of another direction? Like, at that point, it's like we need to have a decision point. Like, let's talk about it. But like, if it becomes a pattern of like, let's talk about it, let's talk about it. Like, it's like compounded. That's when I'm like, maybe more likely to walk away at that point.
And like, if someone doesn't make you feel safe, like how do you express that? Do you usually express it in the moment? Do you find yourself kind of like not necessarily saying it in the moment, but then like telling them later, or like another way of handling that? I'm just
I
curious.
think past versions of myself, aka my 20s, I would not express it at the moment and I'd just be kind of in my head about it. But now I think I'm definitely more likely to speak up and be like, hey, like, you're not very aggressive, but yeah, definitely
Yeah.
more comfortable voicing my opinion earlier on. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, you mentioned that you had some avoidant kind of energy. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk more about that in terms of like who you feel like the best personality type might be for you, and like in terms of like your match.
Yeah. I think for me, I think a secure attachment style probably be
Hmm.
best for me, and somebody who's willing to kind of be willing to teach me a little bit more about their
Hmm.
attachment style. So I mean, there's that music soul child. So teach me how to
Come on,
like listen. I'm not gonna
don't
sing
play
because
with
I
me because
cannot.
I'll start singing up on here.
Where's your soundboard, Alex? You're supposed to have the soundboard
I
ready.
have the soundboard, but I did not have music's. Okay, see now we're gonna get into it because some people, I asked people for feedback on the soundboard. I said, was I doing too much? They said the first one was funny because you got the wrong sound. The second one was hilarious because you finally got it. We could tell that you were really, dedicated to getting that right. But then the third one was too much. So then I was like, all right, all right, all right. Like, let me really figure out how I want to approach this. But now that you brought it up, I think I will have that ready at some point. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to overuse it, y'all. But I'm also trying to take notes on you just so that, like, I can make sure I, I can stay serious and, like, make sure that I have the notes when I match you with somebody. I mean, we can always come back to this, but I just try to make sure everybody's profile is like as up to date with things that I notice.
Yeah.
But I
That's
haven't
what
forgot about the soundboard, but you know, we're gonna keep it going.
that's on the side. But to get back to your question about the ideal attachment style for me, yeah, I definitely think someone with a secure attachment style because as you alluded to, I am kind of actively working to
Hmm.
with my avoidant attachment style, like working to kind of lean towards that healthy, secure attachment style. So if somebody is already kind of there, willing to teach me, I think that would be ideal for me.
Love it, love it. We're gonna find that. So I wanted to ask the chat a question actually. So is it harder for y'all to be truly seen or to feel safe? If it's seen, I want you to type seen. If it's safe, I want you to type safe in the chat. Just curious. Okay, but while they're doing that, Jamie, let's move on to the second one. So communication and conflict. So you talked about how you need space when you're upset, but you also said, you know, like past mistakes was being like too emotionally internal, and like not expressing what you really needed. So I just kind of was like, okay, that might be like a setup for misalignment unless the other person like truly gets your style. And, you know, because you're arguing and like you're not arguing just to be right, but like you really don't like to argue. So maybe talk about like your relationship with conflict and like how that can show up in your personality, but like what you actually are about and I don't know, like how you feel about your ways of communicating.
Yeah, I think they certainly evolved, right? So whereas, yeah, I spent when I was younger, I definitely spent a lot more time like when I would need space in an argument, like I might not ever really get my point across because I've kind of
Mm.
taken too much space and my initial reaction and thoughts and communication were just kind of lost in that void, to be
It's
honest.
hard to
Yeah.
argue with women, and you are the youngest of three, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they just probably had you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's that go between when you with the dynamics with three siblings. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I will say, yeah, being the youngest sometimes like it's kind of either two against one, but then like young you might not get a word in
right.
edgewise. But that's kind of how that dynamic can go. Not all the time,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of our relationship history, I think also more recently just being more comfortable to express those emotions earlier on, like so not taking as much space, whereas before I might take, I don't know, 5 days or something to like think about it and like try to revisit it, then like kind of too much time has passed and it's just not the same as really kind of expressing myself earlier on. So that's something like I've actively worked towards, like when those thoughts and emotions pop up, like how can I be a clearer communicator more in the moment than kind of taking
Mm.
that extended space. I do recognize I do still need space to like put all my thoughts together, but
Hmm.
I had to find that like happy medium for me.
Absolutely. And I think that like, you know, I've been looking at the numbers, like a lot of the guys want space too. It's
Mhm.
not like, you know, it's a ton of them that want to talk about it immediately when conflict arises. So like I think that's a good thing, you know, is just making sure that like you both know that there's going to be a point in time where you come back to something and you don't just like both of you being comfortable in that space where you never address something.
Right.
But yeah, nah, I love that.
And I think we talked
Okay.
a little bit before too about like my communication style, like
Hmm.
either bullet points or this like sandwich method. So then I'm not just like firing off like the meanest thing that's in my mind. Like, and I also take into account how he might respond to what I'm saying. So like taking that space and time to think how best to get my message across in a way too that he'll be receptive to.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you know you have to describe the sandwich method
Yeah.
to the people in the back who don't know what that is, but I loved it.
Yeah, so the sandwich method in short is essentially like you're trying to communicate maybe about a difficult topic or something that might be a source of conflict, like starting with like a compliment. So starting it off kind of positive, in the middle of the sandwich is like the meat of what you're trying to get at, and then kind of ending the conversation on a positive note. That's how I adopted the sandwich method. So really take into account the person you're communicating with, how they're going to receive what you're saying, but also making sure you're getting all your points across effectively without, leaving any lettuce or tomatoes behind.
Come on.
If you think about what's in a sandwich, like you haven't left anything behind. But in all seriousness, it really did help me really organize a lot of things that might have been swirling around my head, and then
Hmm.
the things that I would avoid.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask a juicy question. So
Oh
tell me
gosh.
about a time where, you know, like maybe something went sideways and like and how you would soften it now. Like, was there a scenario or situation where it's like, man, before you kind of use the sandwich method, like how it went, and then like, like how you might reapproach that situation now? Well, I wouldn't ask you to say any names, but just kind of curious.
Yeah, I think of a moment long. It's been many years ago now, but like the
Okay.
person I was dating at the time, we were riding down the interstate, and he dropped some information on me that like I just did not see coming at all, and like it was something very triggering, and like I wish he had like eased into the conversation, but like driving down the interstate, like I'm behind the wheel too, so I'm
Hmm.
like, you no, you didn't, and so obviously
He's in
speed
the
had
passenger side and he want to drop some real. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. What
yeah.
time was it? Like
Well, it
what
was
time? The
3 o'clock
night?
in the
Okay.
afternoon, but
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Copy.
it's like broad daylight.
Okay. Was it traffic?
um, yeah, and I was driving, no traffic.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was like I said, it was very like a lot of information, and so like I just started like spewing my anger immediately. Like that was I
Yeah.
went the other direction, not avoiding the conflict, but like
Mm.
I think we could have had a more constructive method if I knew a more constructive conversation if I knew about the sandwich method at that point instead of me just
Jumping
having that
into it.
reaction,
Mhm.
yeah, and then again avoiding the conflict after that. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty much a train wreck, but in
Mhm.
retrospect, now I know how to approach it.
Absolutely. And it's something about being like a captive audience too, right? Like the fact that you're probably in the car, you couldn't really walk away. Like it's
No,
it's almost like a pressure cooker, right? Like
yeah,
you can't leave this situation, so like I might as well just like say how I feel.
right, right.
Okay. Was there like an apology there or just kind of like did it just you guys just kind of like got over it and it just wasn't that big of a deal?
No, it's a big deal. I think that when I
Mhm.
was able to stop, I was like, yeah, I'm going home. Like,
Yeah.
I need
This
to
was
like,
dumb.
yeah. I mean, we addressed it like later in the week, but yeah, that day I was like, yeah, no, get out of my car. Like, yeah, it's just
I
a lot
got
going
you.
on.
Hey man, when you driving, you can tell people to got your car. That's the blessing, right? So let's talk about financial mindset. All right. So you're in Atlanta, you're doing really well for yourself. I'm not gonna
Thank
put
you,
your business out there,
thank
but you
you,
you know what you're doing, girl. All
thank
right.
you.
So you said you want a partner who earns over that kind of average that we've always been talking about, like that 100K, like um but it's more than income, right? Like you want someone who shares, it's more about like discipline and vision, it seemed. And you're not trying to compete with him,
No,
you want to build, right? It came across like you're very open to working and staying home occasionally, but it's like depending on the season and like where you guys are.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Um, and I think it's that kind of balance between kind of salary and stewardship. Like
There we go.
somebody can be making a whole lot of money, but maybe they're not making sound financial decisions. So I think that's like a critical piece of it is that, yeah, I would want my partner to be doing well, but also making sound decisions, not only just for like both of us, but like for their own personal goals as well.
Absolutely. So it's like it's less about how much he makes, but it's like how he moves with the money.
Yeah, how he moves with the money. Exactly.
And like say you make more than him, but he makes, the amount you said you're comfortable with, like do you see there being any like power dynamic between you two? Like if you make slightly more, if you make more?
I don't think so because I think we would kind of have that shared mindset about like I would hope that he would want me to be making sound financial decisions as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would imagine that we would kind of have that shared vision, like so that power dynamic hopefully wouldn't exist there. And he would appreciate all that I've gone through, earning a PhD and
Absolutely.
everything to get to
Absolutely.
this point, and understand my journey that, that, I've earned it. So like it shouldn't be a power dynamic for,
Exactly. And so like I'm gonna stir the pot slightly. So like let's say he owns less. I mean, let's say he brings in less, but like he makes a bold financial decision. Like he buys his property, but it's like he uses both of y'all's account. to buy this property without looping you in first? Like, how would you react?
Ooh, Alex, you are starting the fight.
Uh,
Oh, you
how
starting
would
the
y'all
fight.
react in the chat? How would y'all react if your
Woo!
significant other, you know what I'm saying, didn't loop you in, made a bold financial decision, and yeah, and just told you, deal with it,
I
man. Like,
think I would need like a explanation. Like, what made you feel like this is a sound decision to, put me in this boat with you? Like, where do you see this kind of going? Like, let's walk me through your decision making process for this. Yeah,
well, but
I would need to hear that to be comfortable with, I think, with that type of decision without being looped in at all.
right. Someone said, "What would Jesus do?" Someone said, "Absolutely not. No, bye." So you can be real with me, like Jamie. I know you're like one of the nicest people, one of the nicest people. So like, keep it funky. Like I still feel like you'd be like, run that back again. Like
I think
what?
I would just, I
Tell me
mean,
what you thought.
what you describing here, Alex, like it sounds like, my name being put on like some documents without
Yeah,
me
it's
knowing.
your name. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm just,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's, whew,
Someone said
yeah.
I need a refund and a conversation. Dispute that charge. Not acceptable. We have to discuss.
Dang, I
I
can't see the
completely
comments,
agree.
so yeah, I can't see the
You
comments, so
can't.
yeah.
Okay, for real. We got to figure this out. You sure you can't? Because last live, Will said he couldn't see the chat, but then he was like,
No.
"Oh, the comments of the chat." All right, all
Yeah, no,
right.
they're like frozen, so yeah, I can't see the
Oh man.
comments.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll try to read them out.
Oh,
Someone said, Tari said he's gonna have to put a PowerPoint presentation together or something.
yes, a PowerPoint
like
presentation.
like run that back turbo. Okay. All right. All right. So like let's make it a little bit positive. So like let's say 5 years down the line. Say I find you a match this year and it gets serious, and like 5 years from this point, like paint the picture of like y'all winning together. Like what does that life look like in 2030?
Yeah, 2030. Yeah, so 5 years down the road. I like thinking in 5 year
Yep.
cycle outs. So, excuse me, I would imagine us like thinking like really high level, like evolved into like a really healthy relationship,
Hmm.
something that's like peaceful. We're very grounded. Like that's speaking like kind of vague terms,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
of course being like financially comfortable, but like what does that mean? Like that allows us to, we're not kind of we're living a soft life, as they say.
Come
We're
on.
living a
Oh,
soft
and
life.
both of y'all are, not
We're both
just
living
you.
a soft life. We're healthy, like
Yes.
physically healthy. Like
Yes.
that's a mountain I stand on is like physical wellness. So
Yep.
like yeah, we're managing that well. If we had to visualize it too, like family is everything to me. And
Mm,
so again, 5 years down the road, like making sure our existing families are healthy and taken care of and building a family of our own. That's something that is very important to me too. So
mhm,
maybe some kids. Yeah, we'll see,
mhm,
if it's
mhm.
in God's will. But yeah, that would be something that I would visualize. And like me, Alex, I'm a very visual person. So like what
Yep.
does it actually look like our day to day? I would just like, I'm a country girl, like living sitting on a porch somewhere by the water. That would be like peak us winning together. Like we got some nice what are those Adirondack chairs, just sitting there
Yes.
together having a peaceful morning together. That would be like we are winning as a couple.
I love that, Jamie. You just had that ready too. Like, nah, like I could tell I see that for you, and I mean, no pressure, no pressure, but we're gonna get there. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So let's talk about relationship goals. Okay, so you stress the importance of exclusivity and like, long-term love. You believe in soulmates and you're also emotionally available. Like, you are ready. Like some of these people you will read and it's like, I don't know, not yet. Like you still,
You're like, I
like
got some coaching to do.
right. They still want the summer. You know what I'm saying? Like you're ready. And I could tell like you weren't afraid to like dive in head first. And you just need someone who's also ready. Like because I don't want there to be any you just kind of like putting up with somebody because you're just such a nice person that like I don't know. I just don't want to put you with someone who would rank themselves, like a 6 or below in terms of like emotional availability.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
got you on that. Okay, so let me ask you this, right? Like if you could love someone who never levels up beyond who he is right now, would that be cool with you?
I think now, because my intentions are so clearly defined and like the discernment is there, I think that's something, depending on where he's at. Let me disclaimer, like where he might not level up
Where
to,
we
but
where's the level
where's
at
the level
before
at?
before
Yeah,
the level up? Okay.
right.
Hmm.
Because I think, people, we have seasons in our life. People, we kind of come and go, but like, yeah, if he never levels up, that it'll be a case by case basis, Alex,
Okay.
to be honest with you. Yeah, depending on, and I think, what aspect is he not like leveling up in? Like, that's something to consider too. Like, is he
Hmm.
physically not leveling up? Is he emotionally not leveling up? Like, where is this not leveling up happen? Or is it kind of a holistic, he's just kind of stuck where he's at forever? Now I think that would be the like true deal breaker. Like, yeah, if he's not willing to evolve somewhere.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
like, is there a different answer versus if it's like physical or emotional leveling up? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, or is that kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know the answer to that. Like, that's a tough question. I ain't gonna lie. Because it's like, if someone isn't leveling up, it's like, you kind of owe it to yourself to be like, nah,
Well,
you know?
and two, you think about, you hear people say like, "That's just how I am." Well, let's get into that. Like, why are you? That's just how. Like, to me, that's not okay answer. At this point. So yeah, that's like, if somebody's like not willing to kind of be
That's such
malleable
a good
and
point. That's such a
yeah.
good point. That's just how I am is such a wild thing to say because and it's like it's not specific, right? Like what do you mean?
Mm-mm.
That's just how I am like as a Capricorn, what like as an only child, like
Right.
as someone who's like, anxious of anxious attached, like what are we talking about? And I just think it that's one of the things that make you dope to me because it's like you realize how you have like certain tendencies or like habits, but like you also have this power to like address them. You know what I'm saying? Like you address them and you said that okay, like yeah, there's some anxious, but like you are trying to get to secure attached, like that's your goal. You're not just trying to sit there. So not everyone thinks like that.
Well, yeah,
So I noticed
and
that. Hmm.
I'm putting a plug in again for the questionnaire. The questionnaire is a mirror, right? Like, it's not just,
Hmm.
oh, I'm trying to fill this out to find my match. Like, no, it is a mirror of self-awareness too, which is like taking that 60 minutes or however long it might take to fill it out. It took me an hour, yes, but really putting thought into the answers, like, you will learn a lot about yourself in that exercise too.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Jamie. Look at you. Look at I
Great
told
putting the
y'all.
questions together, you
Yeah,
know?
man. Okay, I love it. Okay, so this is a question for the chat. I want y'all to be real. Are you a full throttle type or slow burn lover, right? Like when we talk about relationship goals, like do you want to jump in? Is it full throttle or is it slow burn for you? I'm just curious. You,
I feel,
Jimmy, what's your? I think you were. I mean, you said you jump in, so is that full
yeah,
throttle?
definitely, because yeah, I'm like, listen, like, time is of the essence, like, and if I'm taking time out of everything I have going on, like, let's jump right in, like,
Yes,
this kind of dawdling, no, jump right in.
I love it. Okay, and like when they jump right in, is it like? We never talked about this, but like, is it texting? Is it calling? Like, okay, say for instance, we post this and someone's like, I really like Jamie, man. Like, go ahead, and run our numbers and like, it's compatibility, and like, should I? How best can I throw you a live? Like, how best can I set you up with that? Like, let's say it's long distance. Let's say he's in Houston. Like, is it best to do that via phone? Like, should I suggest the first day be like FaceTime or like, do you want to text? Is it IG? Like, tell me how I can best set you up with someone.
Because I do trust your judgment, Alex. I think you were very good at what you're doing,
Hmm.
I would be comfortable with exchanging phone numbers
Phone
first.
numbers.
Yeah,
Okay.
phone number first. Um,
Okay.
I'm not always situated for FaceTime, but
Come on.
yeah.
Like you can have an appointment. You know what I'm saying?
There's probably some people watching. I'm just looking who's watching who know I do not like. I'm not always a fan of pop up FaceTimes, but some
Mm,
people, some people get into that club, and that's the club people get into eventually. That you can,
you can't
pop
just
up
pop
over your
up. Yeah.
FaceTime. Yeah,
Okay. All right. But you got to
yeah.
earn that. Okay. So let's talk about lifestyle and faith. So we're like almost halfway through. So, um, when I was looking at your questionnaire, I could tell that like your lifestyle was very intentional and you're like you have very strong values and like it's easy for you to kind of stay like in this values based area. Like it seems like you don't make too many mistakes that like are examples of you stepping beside yourself or like stepping outside of like what you normally do. I do have one question though around maybe you trying to like double back on something, maybe you can tell me more because I was like, if you tell me that, I want you to tell me it live so I can hear it for the first time there. But you travel quarterly for work and you also like to travel. But yeah, like getting to know you, it just feels like your life is just well structured. You're faith based. You want someone who's actively practicing, but also, spirituality is, someone's just spiritual. That's fine with you too. So I wanted to ask you, like, which could you date someone who's like an atheist?
I think dating someone with an atheist would be someone who's an atheist would be very difficult for me because my faith is my grounding point. Like so
Yeah.
that's a lot swirling can be swirling around like in life in the world, but like that's all my foundation to like recenter. So yeah, dating somebody who doesn't have that kind of shared grounding would be very
So
difficult. So it's like hard.
no, no,
Yeah,
just
hard
says
deal
no.
breaker. I wouldn't do it.
Y'all see Jamie? Y'all see?
It's like
Like,
nah.
nah, no, that's
Nah.
fine. Okay, so like, what is spirituality, and what about you guys? Like, yeah, in your chat, could you date an atheist? Let me know the answer to that. Um, does traveling? Are you an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert?
I think I most test an introvert actually, but kind of ambivert tendencies, but kind of
You
lean more
put
towards
introvert, but I was gonna see if you said
yeah.
ambivert because I could see that because I'm wondering like how you might be with your sisters, but like I was curious like when you travel, like because you travel often, like does that wear you down, and do you feel like you need a partner that understands that and like matches your energy or someone who's like the opposite of your energy like because you are slightly introverted you're well slightly ambiverted but mainly like an introvert, do you want someone who's like pulling you out of that or someone who's like making you feel safe in like what you're up to?
I would prefer someone who makes me feel like safe in that space,
Hmm.
honestly. And if he's like a full extrovert and that's his thing, I respect that. But like kind of maybe we should meet in the middle of kind of those personality styles, I
I
think.
got you.
Yeah, because being an ambivert too, like you kind of it's where you draw your energy from, right? So
Hmm.
like um usually an introvert, like I like for example teach dance fitness classes, so like that's a
Hmm.
very like extroverted activity, but at times I believe in a rest day with fitness, so like yeah, taking that rest to recharge and reset. So if like for example, if like me and my significant other were outside traveling or whatever, we may like have that respect, when we come back home that I might need to just, you know, park it for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially like
Right.
with work travel too, like you might really be like on for a few days. And so yeah, I might not when I come back I need that
That's
time to recharge.
social batteries low.
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
how do you recharge it? Do you like to read? Is it like a certain activity? Like,
Yeah, I mean, apart from sleeping and
hmm.
caffeinated, but yeah, I'm a crafter as well, so kind of decreasing that screen time.
Mm.
Yeah, I have my mom just recently helped me redesign my sewing room, so it's back in commission. But yeah, thanks, mom. But yeah,
Hold
doing.
on now. So you can see the chat now?
I can see who's watching.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I can
Hey,
see who's
Jamie's
watching.
mom. Hey, Dr. Jamie's mom. How we doing? What's your mom's name?
Carol.
Hey, Miss Carol. You did a great job with Dr. Jamie. Um,
But
you did
yeah,
such
taking
an amazing
that
job.
time. taking that time away from like also just like being on the phone, like
So
laptop,
kind
all
of
this
like
like technology.
electronics and
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
see. So
yeah,
you just kind of just get back to just yourself.
yeah,
That solitude.
yeah.
You've always been like that?
I would say so. Yeah, I remember like yeah when I was a kid, like playing sports like off season. So I played volleyball, but like off season, like especially in the fall, like I would like come home and just kind of crash sometimes, like because again that social battery
Mm-hmm.
might be cooked. Yeah, so I've always been like
Absolutely.
that.
Okay, Mama, I want you to type the type of man I need to find for your daughter. I would love to see that. And I'll make sure that I do the best I
I
can,
don't know if
Mom.
she's
Okay.
gonna do it. Let's see.
I hope she does. Oh, and if she does, what's her IG name, just so I know?
It's Sweet Carolina. Yep.
Sweet Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it one more time, Mom. We would love to hear your thoughts on
Oh boy. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna type it. Okay, Alex, you might want to wait. She might come back around.
chat. Did I miss something? Can she close her eyes, I guess? Okay, so moving on to love language and attachment style. Okay, so we talked about how you're avoidant, but you're, in the process of moving to securely attached, which means, too much closeness too fast could could likely like trigger some withdrawal for you.
Hmm.
Um, but I could tell that like that's not because you didn't want closeness, like you actually want to feel like really close to someone, but it's like it may be misinterpreted. Like,
Yeah.
does that ever come up?
Yeah, I think sometimes like I might not be showing it. Like if I'm
Mhm.
not always super responsive or even like if even if I communicate like, hey, I might only have like 10 minutes to talk right now. Like that's not me being avoidant. Like that's just might be how I'm situated at that time. But like that might come across I'm worried sometimes that might come across as that I'm not invested or I don't like want
Mm,
to be close. But yeah, I think that's where kind of the messages might get mixed up sometimes for me. Yeah.
copy. Okay. And then, so just going into your love languages, you said you give love through acts of service and gifts, and you receive love best through quality time and intentional effort.
Hmm.
Um, but what about like words of affirmation? Like, how does that rank in terms of where you like to give and like where you like to receive it? Is it something that you like to receive? Is it something that you freely give? I think it was pretty low on the give, but I'm just gonna let you go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was somewhere in the middle for me receiving
Hmm.
love. Like I think yeah, I like to
Words.
hear the words of
Hmm.
affirmation, but I'm pretty confident like myself. So like
Hmm.
that doesn't rank the highest on my list, but as far as giving words of affirmation, that's something that I would like to work towards too and understanding like what kind of words of affirmation does he need to hear? How
Right.
frequently? Like that's something I would need to work towards and
And I
understand. Um
think, I'm sorry, I didn't
no,
mean to
you
interrupt. I was gonna say, like, you have the right approach because it's like, I mean, okay, the question asks to rank these, and like it's gonna be subjective, but like what I've realized about you just from like working closely with you, getting to know you, is like you are going to want to study your man. Like you're gonna want to like understand and like almost have like a system. Like, is
good.
that fair? Like,
That is fair.
like
I
you're
mean,
gonna
I am
like
a
want to
scientist.
figure him out. Like you're gonna
I
like
mean, I am a scientist, Alex.
you're
I can't
like
fight it
you
all.
have a scientific approach, I
I
think.
do, but
And so like if I think that if you see someone needs words, like you're gonna gladly give somebody words. Like that's it's not like you're gonna be like you're gonna have some ego or like be too proud to do that, which is special and nice because it's like you're not keeping score like doing this long game of you know um
but I think
penalizing someone.
you can't always fit somebody into a system, right? Like, so
Mm,
you might have them figured out on a Tuesday, but maybe Wednesday is not exactly the same. So, like, that's room to grow. I think that's an opportunity to grow as well in a relationship. Like, yeah, you might even have him figured out like, baseline level, but it's going to continue to evolve, and that system has to continue to evolve too.
Okay. Okay, does he have a say in the system, or like is that something that you just say like, you know what, I figured you out. You know, you may not even know what you want. I know what you want because I'm the one looking at the analytics, right? Like, or like, can he say like, yo, this is how I need to be treated, and then like you're gonna, what I'm saying, live up, not live up to that, but like meet those needs. Like, is it kind of, which who has more of an influence into that system that you build?
I think it's like 50-50. Like, so yeah, he should be able to explain like, okay, you think you might have me figured out, but like this, these are some things maybe you didn't consider, and I'm open to that type of feedback too. The same goes for him. Like, maybe he thinks he has me all the way, figured out, but it's got to be a constant like back and forth between us.
Okay. Okay, hold on. So we have
Oh
an
gosh.
announcement. We have an announcement from Mama. Let me
Oh
just
god.
make sure. We're just gonna take a quick sec before we get into it. I just want to give people time to come into the chat
Oh god.
before we read this. Okay, so Mama said, Miss Sweet Carolina said, I would love for Jamie to have a nice, spiritual minded, and true young man along with done other characteristics. Yes, ma'am. Yes, mama. Got you. Got you. Okay. Let me take a screenshot. That was so nice and kind of you. And
Thanks,
like it wasn't,
mom.
she didn't say, you see, she didn't say he needs to be 6'4", he needs to have this and the third. She said nice, spiritually minded, and true young man who's done, all those the work and has those other characteristics. I love that. How do you feel about that? Is that cool if I give you somebody that's just because we're gonna talk about your physical attraction and chemistry later down the line. So I just want to make sure that we just get this on writing and
No, no,
paper.
no. I think mom captured it well. I mean, Carol and her prayer warriors don't mess around. Let me just say that. Like, with her legion of prayer warriors, you can
Well,
conquer
Miss
the world. Okay.
Carol, go ahead and
Yeah.
add your boy to the list if you don't mind. Uh, I accept all prayer warriors that are freelance and they want to care for a soul. So yeah,
But
Alex Smith,
yeah, I
actor.
think. I mean, I actually have. I don't know if y'all can see that. Faith is tattooed on my arm, so like daily
Mm,
reminder. Like, so that being the cornerstone, she captured it well. So yeah, thanks,
I
mom.
love that. So you grew up in like a praying family, like
Yeah.
very healthy. Okay, okay, love that. All right, so I think we covered everything with like love languages and attachment. Was there anything specifically like where you know, you felt like you wanted to underline in terms of like the person for you, like I should know about in terms of like how they show love, how they, protect you, or like their attachment styles. You said you wanted someone who's securely attached, preferably, but like in terms of like how they naturally show themselves in love languages, like is there like one where you're like, oh no, this is a hard requirement just based on like, what you've gone through in the past?
I would say the feeling protected, like the acts of service and quality time, are like
Okay.
top two. Yeah, and just to feel that safeness and being comfortable in a relationship. I think those are the top two that come to mind for me for how I like to receive love. And I'm willing to make that growth step too, if we're to build up on the words of providing the words of affirmation, for sure. But yeah, that's what comes, like, if you had to underline something, like I have to find this for Jamie, it had to be like quality time and
That's
acts of service.
why okay, cool. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Quality times and acts of service.
Because I gotta go back to one of your previous lives. I don't know if he's watching, but he was talking, when I think
Ian.
it's Ian. He's talking about like making sure the car was like situated, the brakes and whatever the lady was driving, that it was safe. I was like, Ian is cooking with
That
that.
boy
Like, that is,
Ian said he was gonna change the oil. I
yeah.
said, I honestly between me and you, like I called some of my friends and said, hey, y'all boys changing oil? Like, okay, that's what's up. Okay. But nah, he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And you can tell like he really meant that. Like I remember when I was talking to Ian in our private one-on-one, I was just like, oh, okay, like you're really about that, bro. Like near and dear to him. So for you, same thing. It's just, and we're gonna talk about roles and co-leadership after deal breakers, but nah, I could tell that that was
Y-
important. It's like you
Yeah.
have this flexibility there, but there's some things where it's like, nah, like the expectation is set,
Mm.
and I don't know if you want to deal with that, you know. Um,
Waffling.
yeah, that
No.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let's talk about deal breakers and red flags. Okay, I think everybody can see it. You're a soft soul. Like you just, I don't know, the voice, like what you say. I asked you, can you date an atheist? You give me, you say, well, our thing, blah blah. Versus like,
No.
hell no,
No.
So
Yeah, yeah. It
like
might take me a
you,
while to get to the hell no.
but no, like it's okay, So you can just tell that you take care of how you say things. But like one thing I noticed, like you don't play around with those red flags. Like you need consistency.
Hmm.
You need monogamy. Like you're not trying to like figure some of this other stuff out, right? Like you need spiritual alignment. And what turns you off the most seem to be poor communication,
Hmm.
arrogance, dishonesty, and you said mocking. Like don't mock me. Okay?
Hmm.
So that to me is like, yo, I love how most of your deal breakers and red flags were like personality focused. It wasn't like you didn't say like, oh yeah, if he's not this, if he doesn't look like this, if he it looks doesn't look like that, right? Um, I mean, you talk about a little bit in your preferences, but like in terms of red flags and deal breakers, it was really like how he treats you, how he shows up, and I just thought that was special.
Yeah, I think and heavy on the like the dishonesty and things like that. Like I need to know where I stand at all times, and like I'm only gonna go into a space where I'm respected and
Yes.
I'm definitely wanted. Like I don't. It doesn't need to be like a gray area and me not knowing like you know what he's up to, or like maybe he might be making decisions like that could impact both of us, but I don't know anything about it. Like I don't want
Hmm.
to be in the dark
Absolutely.
about anything. So yeah, that's why that dishonesty is heavy on the deal breaker list.
Because you make yourself so available to meet somebody when they meet you with just truth and honesty,
Hmm.
right? So it's like the dishonesty really hurts because you're like, look, I'm already giving you like leeway. I'm already overextending myself to make sure you feel like, there's a safe place for you
Right.
to be able to communicate to. So now I get that. I can understand how that can be frustrating.
What's that
So,
saying?
mhm,
Like, I'll trust you until like you give me a reason not to trust you. Yeah.
mhm.
So like that's the like kind of a thing that's in my head all the time. Like, yeah, like the trust is there until it's broken. So like once that trust is kind of broken, then I'm like, yeah.
So what about there's also a phrase, it's called, it says, it goes by trust but verify. Like, do you feel like you have a little bit of that too? Like, I trust you, but like it may look like I'm not trusting you, but I'm just verifying. Like, is that, or is it more like, yo, you get that blind trust and like,
Ooh, that's a good question, Alex. I think I'm not blindly trusting, but like I think, and that's where that discernment comes in, right? Like
yeah.
I kind of weeding out the at this point, I'm kind of weeding out those things that would like make me less trustful of somebody in the beginning, anyway.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think at this point, yeah, and especially like with a very intentional match, it may look more like blind trust now, but yeah, in the past it would look like more trust but verify. So like I'm taking notes of things, trying to figure it out all the time.
Okay. Not you building a case over there, Olivia Pope.
Listen,
Okay.
listen. I hope my sisters are on here because they know the vibes that. I mean, they're on here, but yeah,
Yeah. So
we we look around.
that's hilarious. So my cousin Harry said innocent until proven guilty. Is that pretty much it? Like, is that the
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Innocent
Okay.
until proven guilty.
All right. All right. All right. But you on trial.
He's on trial. Listen,
Okay.
Hinkley and Associates. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about roles and co-leadership. So this is, 8 of 9. So we low key almost done, but dang. So Jamie, so you're not about traditional gender roles, like it's about balance.
Hmm.
But like you are fine with some gender roles. It's like you're not trying to be shoveling no snow. You in
Yeah,
Atlanta, okay?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Like, go ahead and get that snow, my boy. And you want to co-lead and you want to build with someone who isn't intimidated by like your intellect. I mean, you mentioned it, right? You have a PhD, you have your own independence. Do you have, is that your home? You own your home?
I do on my home. Yeah.
Congratulations. How
Thank
long
you.
have you had the home?
I've been here a year. This is my second home actually. So yeah. Uh, so I have a vintage home in Atlanta now. Yeah.
What?
You had to take a sip on that. You're like, oh, okay.
You ain't put that in the questionnaire. I'm glad we got to that. Okay, second home. Good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so but what does it mean? Like, how does that? Okay, say you got two homes, right? And
Okay.
then we
So
match you with someone who is from Duluth or something. Live in Atlanta, and like he don't have, he's moving in with you. Like, is there how would you take? Would you feel the need to uh help him understand his role in the house and his place in the house that he didn't buy?
hmm. I think well, that's a good question, Alex. Man. Because I think okay, the goal being like this soft life, right? Like what
Right.
roles can we lean into that things that we're good at to make this a solid, peaceful place for both of us, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, hmm, I think we would have to work through that, but yeah, I think he should at that point if I was to get to that point, like he kind of should know how I operate a little bit, kind of have
Mm,
like how my day to day, like, so yeah, to figure out his role in the home. But then that's something I think, we would have to hash out, to be honest.
right.
Yeah.
What if he said my role is to be the leader of this house that he didn't pay for? Is that a role that you would allow him to have?
The leader of the house that he didn't pay for. Ooh,
Mhm. The,
ooh, Alex, you.
the answer could be no. Like I'm not again like
Nah, and like, what is that? I would add my question for him would be like, what do you mean, like leader of the house, like you didn't buy? Like, what are you trying to, what are you trying to do here? That in this space that you didn't, procure yourself. So
right. No. I'm not. I hope I'm not being messy.
no,
Am
no,
I being? I'm no, because Ian was like, yo, look at me blaming somebody. Now Ian said that like men are the head, but women are the neck. So it's almost like I was just trying to understand how might there be like some good chemistry in just the co-leadership style. Because if you got co-leadership, it's two leaders, right? And you both are on the same page, and
mhm.
I don't know. For me, I think it's healthy to let a man understand that, like, yo, like I defer to you on a lot of things, and men should tell their wives and significant others that, like, yo, I trust you with this. Like, I'm looking to you for that. And sometimes when you talk about going from two to one, like everything should be shared. And I guess the perspective that I have is like it shouldn't matter where some things come from. Like we got some artwork that's downstairs that my wife had before we got married. But then you get married and it's like, okay, like this is our artwork. Like I may not have loved it, but like guess where it's gonna go? Like down behind that table because it's you know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't know. Like I guess I was just interested to understand what that dynamic might be like.
Yeah, and as we're talking about this too, I think I would want him to feel like I wouldn't want him to feel like, oh, I'm just coming into her. This is
Hmm.
her operation, and like I'm just here existing. Like I would never want him to like feel that way if it was that situation. But like,
Right, because I
but
know that you wouldn't, but it's like yeah. So that's
I
why.
mean, I like I said, I have like for example, I have a vintage home. I have an endless list of DIY projects and like things that I could use help and insight on. And so
So
yeah,
if you extend that form of leadership, Jamie, you know what I'm saying? That's some
listen.
ownership. That's some ownership.
Listen, he can take the
Come
landscaping
on now,
and run with it because
baby. Your
I
yard. How's your yard looking this Sunday, boo? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to get? on that zero turn and handle your yard, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But nah, okay, I got you.
That's kind of
All
gives
right,
you more of an example, like
yeah,
kind of put it in context. Yeah.
absolutely. No, that's super helpful. And like Jamie, like I don't know, I just someone said if he knows how to fix things though. Okay. Do
That
you
is
want somebody who's handy?
yes, yes, that
Okay.
would be clutch, Alex.
Handy. Okay,
Listen,
handy man. Okay.
anyway,
Okay. I'm literally writing that down.
I have a reputation for being um my family calls me the domestic diva, right? They say
You didn't
I'm not
tell me
interested.
that.
No,
Okay, good.
I didn't tell you that. They call me domestic diva because they say I don't do some of these like projects. It's not that I can't or don't want to. It's just maybe that's not my strong suit, you know? So if he was able to help with some of that, that would be welcomed, you know?
Domestic diva. Is that the name of the episode?
Yeah, I don't know,
Okay.
domestic diva. No, don't name it. You can name it domestic diva. But no, that's what they call me. Like, but I have dispelled this at this point. I mean, I've painted a living room.
Okay.
I've stained the deck. Like,
Oh yeah.
I've dispelled it. But that's not something that I was like, oh, I want to just jump at this, do it myself. So yeah.
Did you have to paint the ceiling of the living room as well, or
No, just the walls.
it's the
Yeah.
ceiling that gets you?
And the
Oh,
trim,
and
the
the
trim.
trim.
Yeah.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
I think
All
Chris is
right.
here though. She helped. Yeah.
What Chris did?
Yeah, Chris, my sister.
Okay, sis, is would you say that she's a domestic diva still, or has she kind of grown out of that? The world wants to know. And what about you, Mama? What do you think? Okay, so while they're answering that, let's get into physical attraction and chemistry.
Oh
All
boy.
right, so we talked about fitness because like fitness is very important to you, and you like your men fit, tall, tatted. You said tatted. Tats are okay. You know what I'm saying? But I asked, like, do you prefer tats or like are they just okay? Because you have tats. I
Yeah.
see you. I see you with the tats. And then you said bearded. You said Laz Alonso, Amari Hardrick, and you also told me one other person. Oh my God, Sean P from the Youngbloods, right?
This is a range, right? This is a range.
I mean, I feel like your type is man. Oh my gosh.
Oh God,
Okay.
I can't see the chat. Shoot.
Okay. So Mama said yes, she has her limits. And Chris said she is growing out of it for sure. Dang, Chris. So that means that she's still a domestic diva. I kind of want to revisit domestic. Like, so that do you cook? Like, do you like? What does that mean? Okay, so
Yeah,
you in
I
there?
definitely cook. I'm very good at that. I'm good at meal prep, grocery shopping, and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
because.
But yeah, when it comes to manual labor, that's just not my. I don't gravitate towards it.
Yeah,
Like,
you've already mentioned how you want you and him on that soft life. Okay,
yes,
so you got they got apps for that. They got handymans for that, and we can try to get him.
yeah,
We try to get somebody who's a handyman
yeah,
for
exactly. Yeah, that would be good.
you. Alexis said a corporate thug. You a corporate thug? How you be talking to them at work? Per my last email, like how do you handle it? How do you handle tension at work?
Oh, I keep the receipts. I do keep receipts. So yeah,
Mm,
I am a per the last email type of person. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
True, Chase. Someone said the word diva can mean a lot of things, though. Now, I think in this
Yeah.
one, it's like she avoidant of domestic. But I could be wrong. Okay, so okay. Someone said she bakes too. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, that's a bet. You post all this to the IG? I'm trying to think if I saw some of
I
this. I see all
don't
fitness. I see like you're constantly on the move. You're constantly doing classes, like taking care of your body and your health and your wellness. So yeah, like I guess maybe you don't. Maybe that's like not on brand. Posting all the stuff.
I do occasional food posts, but yeah, I don't
Okay.
post. I mean, I can bake for real, but yeah, I don't typically post that. But yeah, that's something I enjoy. Something to de-stress too. So yeah, definitely cooking is a passion too. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Copy. All right. So let's get back to your physical attraction, right? So you mentioned fitness and like I kind of wanted to talk because I think you had a question to me, and you were like, Alex, a lot of these people were saying like slim thick, slim thick, slim thick. And you were like, can y'all describe slim thick? So I want y'all to the men in the chat. I saw a few people. I'm not gonna call y'all specifically. What do we mean when we say slim thick? And then I think back to you, Jamie, like fit is, something that people can take, all over the place. So I know that like I wanted to get you to describe what you mean by fitness because I asked you, I was like, could someone be 300 pounds and be fit? And you were like, absolutely. So I just wanted to kind of give you the floor to talk through that.
Yeah, I mean, because when you think of weight as like a number, right? How it's distributed, how it's muscle mass, you got all these factors influencing weight. Um, is he 300 pounds but going to the gym 4 days a week? Like, is his blood pressure okay? That's fine with me. Like to me, like he's fit because he's taking those steps to be consistent in his wellness, internally too. Like, making sure blood pressure, blood sugar, all these like things that can weigh heavy on our bodies and organs are in good shape. So to me, fit it is not necessarily all what's on the outside.
Come on now.
Are
The
yeah,
numbers.
it's those numbers, and are your kidneys working well, your liver, all the things internally, because that says a lot about like does he care about his longevity and like just leading a long healthy life in as much as he can control it. And like outside of our relationship, like that tells me he cares about himself, and that you know
Absolutely.
so when I think of fit, that's kind of where my mind goes to. But like if somebody's like unfit, you know maybe having those poor kind of habits that aren't contributing to him being holistically well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. So like what about like lifestyle in terms of that fitness? Like, I'm guessing you didn't say that you didn't want a smoker, but maybe like after hearing you about, talk about fitness, like maybe that's something you wouldn't want. Like maybe that would be a deal breaker or,
Yeah, I would say
um,
so. Just like when you think of like longevity too, like some of the risk factors associated, I'm thinking specifically cigarette smoking too.
hmm
Like some of the risk factors there, like for long-term health issues, like that would be a deal breaker. Mhm.
Okay. And like I said, I want to talk about the tattoos. Like you said that they were welcome but not invited. Is that
Or you, what did you say? Welcome, preferred or welcome? I
right?
can't remember. Either
Like
way.
I forgot what I said specifically, but I was just curious because I know you tatted. Like, what's the issue? Like,
No,
I
no,
thought
no.
you were
Definitely welcomed. They
okay.
don't have to have tattoos, but
Yeah. Oh, I
if
see
they
what you're
did,
saying. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if
It
they
wasn't a
did have tattoos,
requirement.
yeah, it's not a requirement.
Our beard is a beard a requirement.
It's definitely
There's some police
preference.
officers out there that low key have to keep
They
it cleanly
do.
shaved.
Yeah,
So
it's not a
like,
requirement. No,
okay,
not a
okay.
requirement.
Let's talk about height. How
I'm
tall are you?
5'5".
Okay, so what's the height requirement?
I would at least want him to be 5'8" minimum. Yeah,
Okay,
just a little bit taller than me. Yeah,
5'8". Have you ever dated someone shorter than you?
I haven't. No,
Okay.
but it's yeah. The preference would be about five
Okay.
eight.
5'8" taller. Okay. What's the shortest you ever dated someone? Like, have you ever dated someone your exact height or like 5'8"
No,
is kind of like your standard? Like,
yeah, it's
yo,
sort of
I
standard.
got you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Okay.
actually to be honest, I don't know if I've encountered anybody that was my height. Like it wouldn't be like, oh gosh, he's 5'5". Like I can't even entertain him. Yeah, it wouldn't be
Right.
that
I
negative.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You feel like, what's up? You trying to come to this fitness
No.
class with me? Okay. Yeah. Cause do you host a fitness class actually?
Yeah,
Let's
so
shout
yeah,
that out
I
real quick. Let's shout that out.
actually have one this Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I teach a format called Mix Fit. So yeah, I will be having a class this Saturday.
Do you ever get mixy with people who come to mix fit? Like, is there ever like, some attraction, or attractive people that's there that like stick around and hang out and
Unfortunately, I've not seen no, I haven't encountered that in my class yet, unfortunately. No.
maybe we can
But
try to. Hey, so let's do a flyer. So it's coming up this Saturday.
yeah, it's coming up this Saturday.
All right, we'll go puppet. How about that? Let's try that. Let's do that. I know some people in Atlanta. We'll get
Yeah,
we'll get them out there.
yeah. Everybody is welcome. It is not a ladies only class, okay? Like, yeah.
And
Just say that.
I love what Chase said. I was like, "So what's fitness?" And she said, "If we in trouble, can we both run away?" That's some of the
Facts.
realest stuff. That's some of the real. That's the realest definition. Because just us and our people and our species, there are certain things we just have to always be able to do. Just naturally. And I think that if we
Yeah.
run at the threat of violence or even perceived violence, if we see someone else run, we also have to be able to jet quickly in said direction. So yes, make sure your fitness at least is at that level.
Yes. That is a fair assessment. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the fast round. You know what I'm saying? I just really want to see something real quick.
Oh gosh.
So it's gonna be this or that, and we're gonna get through. Okay. So what's more important on the first date, vibe or effort?
Vibe.
Do you light up more when a man is funny or intentional?
Funny.
If you get one trip a year, all expenses paid, is it a luxury resort or cultural city tour?
A luxury resort.
Who plans the best dates, you or your man?
My man.
If he messes up, do you want a big gesture or a real conversation?
A real conversation.
Do you fall harder for a man's mind, humor, or presence?
It's mind.
Be honest, do you believe in we outside softness or stay inside and heal energy?
Stay inside and heal.
Okay. Would you rather get a good morning text or pull up with your favorite meal?
Pull up with my favorite meal, preferably preferably iced
I
coffee.
know y'all saw that react. Okay, okay,
Preferably
yes.
iced coffee because
Hold
yeah,
on.
I'm not a morning person.
What's your favorite? Okay, your favorite meal. What's your favorite meal?
Uh, man, like in Atlanta, man, I'm gonna be real cliche
Crickets?
for a second. Real cliche for a second. Some honey hot lemon pepper wings. Listen,
For
that is a
real
nice
though,
thing.
is this crickets? Where we at?
Uh, well, no, there's a couple other spots.
Wings?
I'm trying to think. No, not Wingstop. No, can't do
Okay,
Wingstop.
okay. Okay.
Cricket's not bad. What's the other place? I think it's like B&L or something, but their
Mm,
wings hit. Yeah. So
okay, okay.
these aren't like huge things, but the
I-
iced coffee's
Iced
not a
coffee.
meal. Iced coffee's not a meal, but it is my favorite. It's very intentional.
If somebody send you some iced coffee, that's like sending you, you know, something that's real special, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
real special.
Because it
Yes.
shows like I'm trying to wake you up, baby. I'm trying to have you. I'm trying to make you have some focus. I know you got a lot on your plate. You know.
Yeah. That goes a lot farther than a good morning text.
Okay, okay. So last one. Would you rather hear I apologize or I understand?
I understand. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I feel like I understand you. And the thing is, I did from the jump. And so I don't know. For this live, I just really wanted to the main thing I wanted to do was give you your flowers
Thanks,
and just talk about how much I
Alex.
appreciate you. And just to let everybody else kind of like see a little bit behind the scenes, like some of the dope people that's done the questionnaire, like just like their how they think about things, their heart, how smart they are, um, how cool they are. And yeah, so and I just appreciate how honest you were. I know that like even though we met and talked about some of this beforehand, I hit you with some new things just to kind of like, you know. But I thought you did so well. I thought you did really, really well. So as you know, I want anybody who's interested to reach out. Feel free to reach out to me or to her, and then you can tell me if like, yeah, Alex, what do you think about this guy? You know, but as you know, I'm gonna be continuing to match you. And I want to encourage everybody to share, what the Well Match is doing with any solid dudes that you know, because the more the merrier. You know what I'm saying? Like we always need more good solid dudes. And like after Will's live, like people were sending that out, and I've had like two additional good dudes sign up. So I think that I want to just always make it a point to ask people to continue to share the message. And if you know somebody that may not be good for you because they're like a family member or a friend, but like it's just a good dude for somebody else, like please, fill them in on this and let them know what we're up to. Also, if you don't mind subscribing to the YouTube channel, that's really helpful. I know it's like a hassle,
It's
but it would just
really
mean
not. It's
okay.
one button. Subscribe. I'm here to say subscribe. The
Yeah,
content is
you
good.
like
Yeah.
my angry translator, even though you the nicest one.
No, I'm like, it's really not hard to click a button, y'all.
Yeah,
Subscribe.
yeah. No, I appreciate that. I mean, you did such a great job, and I just appreciate you, and yeah, look forward to continuing to work with you.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. And also giving you your flowers. Thank you for curating this space. And for folks like me, this is not a traditional thing I would do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for creating this safe space and excited to continue this journey and see how it grows.
Oh, it's definitely gonna grow. I just
Yes.
may be too critical of these guys. Like I want to, what I'm saying? Like now it's kind of like little sis, man. It's like, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? But and your mom said Duluth. Yes, I have a line brother from Duluth. Shout out to Dave Hart. He from Duluth, Georgia. That's why it came up my mind. But it's not somebody. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so Jamie, again, appreciate you. Love you. We'll talk to you
All
soon.
right.
And thanks everybody for making it out.
Good
Good night,
night.
y'all.